Picture this. Our intrepid heroes stumble into the midst of a plundering horde of goblins. Blades clash, magic missiles explode, and certain doom seems but one failed saving throw away. Then, in a moment of sheer lunacy, Bree Greenbottle, the halfling rogue, pulls out a white flag and starts doing an interpretive dance. For a moment, the goblins gape in utter bewilderment, and then they burst into maniacal fits of laughter. And just like that, what could have been a gruesome slaughter turns into a dance-off.
Dance off, bro! Me and you!
Hey, dance partners, adventurers, whatever you want to call yourselves. Welcome back to Short Rest Studios. My name is Judd, and this week we're concluding our 4-part series, Epic Encounters, Mastering Unforgettable DnD Combat. This week we're looking at open-ended conflicts and their importance in making D&D combat memorable. That whole opening story was a bit ridiculous, but let's face it, not as ridiculous as some of the things that D&D players have done over the years. And that's one of the beautiful things about D&D. Not every combat encounter needs to end in a bloodbath. In fact, sometimes the most unexpected, the most exciting, the most hilarious outcomes can occur when we allow those conflicts to go in directions we could not have anticipated. We leave things open-ended and allow our players to help create the story. Listen, we all love epic fights and daring victories, but there's something really special about the unexpected happening in a game of D&D. And this week, I want to talk to you about some ways that you can help encourage those unexpected outcomes. As a DM, you need to create options for your players. I mean, think about this. Why fight to the death? In most circumstances, most creatures would not want to fight to the death. If we're talking about a group of bandits who were hired to attack your party, they're probably not going to care enough to keep fighting until they're dead. Most creatures are not going to be so willing to die, especially if there are low or no stakes. Stakes. So here, fellow DMs, are 3 creative options for you to get your bad guys out of a fight. Option number 1, surrender is always an option. It adds realism. Like I said, most creatures are not going to be willing, really, to fight to the death in every circumstance. So it's realistic to think that some might just surrender. It also will provide some interesting opportunities for roleplay, whether it's through encouraging your players to persuade the bad guys or intimidate them, or just try some clever or crazy tactics. You can be creative in figuring out ways to force them to surrender. And here's a note for players. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. It means looking for a creative solution to a conflict that doesn't involve a pile of corpses. Option number 2, retreat is reasonable. Like I said before, your bad guys, in most circumstances, are probably not going to want to fight to the death. And instead of surrendering, they may, when a certain condition is reached, decide to run away. Run away! For example, they reach half hit points or a certain number of hit points. That's one that we use a lot in D&D. When that condition is met, when your bad guy gets down to half their hit points, they jet. And that gives your players an opportunity to be creative. And it provides some realism and some unpredictability to what can be an extremely predictable situation. And here's a note for players. Retreating is not chickening out. It's just a way for you to find a tactic that allows you to live to fight another day. Adventurers, real quick, I just want to say this to you. I'm tired this week. It's been an interesting week. I'm coming to the end of my time at a job that I've been at for 6 years, and it's a really weird situation. I haven't been sleeping well. There's a lot of emotions going on. I don't know what the future looks like, but I'm so glad. I was so excited to get to sit down in front of the camera today and record this episode for you, because I find joy in doing this, and I hope that we can hang out together, talk about games, and have some fun together as an outgrowth of me making these videos. I look forward to that every week when one of these videos comes out. If you're getting some value out of this, it really means a lot to me when you hit that like button. I know that I'm doing something that means something to you, and that really helps me out. And when you hit the subscribe button, then I know that you want to know what's coming next. So do that. for me if you would. It really means a lot. Now let's get back to it. Option 3 for creating some unpredictability in your D&D combat encounters is talking it out can change the future. I mean, think about this. If your bad guys might not be willing in every situation to fight to the death, they might actually be willing, especially if the stakes are low or if there are no stakes, to talk it out. I mean, maybe they think that your players stole all the livestock from their village, but they didn't. That gives your players an opportunity to try to talk some sense into these folks. Or maybe they're a bunch of hooligans getting paid to take your guys down, and maybe they could offer to pay them more. There's a lot of opportunity for some creative role play, and your players might even come out of it with some new allies or friends. Those are the kind of unexpected outcomes that make these things memorable, that make them worth talking about and laughing about and enjoying for a long time to come. And here's a bonus for you, another way to create options for your players that's extremely important, and that is give them meaningful choices anytime they enter into an encounter of any kind. You do this by offering them opportunities to make different tactical choices or encouraging them to do that. Encourage them to do things like prioritize targets, put potential rewards into that encounter, and encourage them to take risks in order to get that reward. The important thing here is allowing our players to help shape the story. There's a lot of talk and debate about railroading players in D&D, and I'm not a fan of railroading players. I love the collaborative nature of storytelling in D&D. At the same time, I understand that we do have a direction that generally the story needs to go, and the most memorable stories are going to be more cohesive. However, there is room for players to make meaningful choices and influence the outcome of the overall story in D&D, and that actually creates some of the most memorable and exciting and unexpected outcomes. And one more little tidbit, creating these kind of options, allowing for this open-ended conflict, can actually give your villains the opportunity to show up later, maybe looking for vengeance or just plotting the death of your party, and that creates some more memorable encounters. Adventurers, I've really enjoyed doing this series of videos, Epic Encounters, Mastering Unforgettable D&D Combat, and I really hope that you've gotten something out of it. If you did, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, check out this video, and I'll see you next time on Short Rest Studios. And here's a note for players.